When one thinks about agriculture, the ideas that often, come up are limited to farming for some, but there's more that can be done in this particular sector. With concerns, of course, around food security and youth unemployment continuing to grow, there are calls for young people to consider being agripreneurs. But what exactly is that? Let's speak now to ABSA Enterprise Development Head, Kgalaletso Tlhoaele, who joins us live now. Thank you so much for your time. Let's start with that very description. What is an agripreneur?
Hi, Bongi, and thanks for having me. So, an agripreneur is somebody who sees an opportunity within the agricultural value chain and is able to tap into that. So, it could be, well, from a logistics point of view, it could be from a marketing point of view, it could be for, being involved in an aspect of the value chain. For example, you could be a supplier of seeds. But the entire agricultural value chain is a significant opportunity for young people to get in. And we're very glad to be part of the Teta Empower Youth Weekend in Bushbuckridge, because we're bringing on board quite a lot of partners who will be able to disseminate information all about the opportunities that are available in the agricultural value chain. So it's not only farming, it could be packaging, it could be provision of any of the inputs into the agricultural value chain.
And I suppose, of course, this will be, made even much more clearer by some of those who will be in attendance. But someone who's watching tonight, who's wondering, a young person, that how do I begin to have access to some of these opportunities you've just described?
Well, I think one of the, if you can call it the agri-tech, innovative agri-techs out there is called Kula app, and it's been an enterprise beneficiary for ABSA for a while, and we actually entered into an equity purchase earlier in the year. But what this marketplace does is provide an array of information from soil types, the best suited soil for a certain crop, up to being part of the input value chain, because it enables you to actually access information that can start your way into the agricultural value chain and be a player. You can start small, or if you're lucky, you can strike up a partnership with an established player in the industry and actually grow quite rapidly. But we're quite excited that the CEO of Kula, Karidas Tinsolo, who was born in Mpumalanga, will be one of the headline speakers, just imparting information around the various opportunities that are there. You've got literally more than 100 corporates that have got various services for sale on the Kula app, and this is a wonderful opportunity for young people to actually learn about what it takes to be in the sector. And one thing I can tell you though is that it is a lot of hard work, but it is absolutely rewarding.
And is this opportunity available to every single young person, or is there a specific criteria here? And if there is, tell us what it is.
Well, the first step is to register on the website, the www.empoweryouth.co.za, and also www.empowerworks. So empower with an A and a works, worx.co.za. And this is where you'll be able to register to be part of this exciting, weekend of activities starting from Thursday.
And there's one thing that, a number of young people often talk about, or even some of, the small businesses, is access to capital, is access to, a lot of support in order to be able to even start a business, for example. Let's talk about that, because funding is a huge issue when it comes to starting a business.
Funding is only one of the challenges that one has to overcome. I think the biggest one in the agriculture space in particular is skills, because you never have any two seasons being the same. So there's a lot of factors that are outside your control. So, getting the right knowledge is important. And then I think even more important than the actual funding is the access to markets. If you are able to access the right markets, funding becomes quite attainable, because in enterprise development, we don't necessarily look at the traditional way of funding, which is mostly either security based or based on a balance sheet. We look at the potential of the entrepreneur. We look at the cash flows that they're able to generate, and this is where the contracts come in. So I think access to markets and skills is just as important as access to funding.
And I suppose agility now, especially when you think about, what you've said, that, seasons are not the same, but now you're also coupling that with rolling blackouts as well, which have also posed a difficulty in this particular sector.
Yes, it has. And, having a remote kind of field environment also adds to the complexity. But I think with the prices of alternative energy coming down, and I mean, in ABSA, we started a program where we are supporting our SME clients with funding, for alternative energy. So I think that, as a responsible corporate citizen, we are looking at innovative ways of getting, energy security to be the main driver behind what you would call food security as well.
All right, Kgalaletso, thank you so much for your time. It's an important conversation, especially when we look at, the numbers, the soaring figures around youth unemployment. So some of the opportunities available here in this particular sector. Let me thank you this evening, ABSA Enterprise Development Head, Kgalaletso Tlhoaele, of course, talking to us about some of, the opportunities in the agricultural sector.